The Earth's interior can hide incredible things, mysteries concealed kilometers deep in inaccessible and sealed places, eternally shrouded in darkness where sunlight will never reach. A group of miners unwittingly stumbles upon something that had been sleeping under watch, feared and worshipped, something that, if awakened and released, would bring about the end of the world itself. A powerful, terrifying, and impossible being. In total darkness, with seemingly no escape and time running out, whatever this creature is keeps getting closer and begins to destroy everything in its path. Who is it? Why did it remain so far below in such a remote part of the underground? This is a movie designed to make you uncomfortable, one that makes you want to stick your head out the window occasionally to catch your breath before continuing, where we'll encounter a deity with plans far more significant and unexpected than they initially appear. Deep Dark is a conceptual fusion of The Descent, As Above, So Below, and The Pyramid. Director Matti Turi, known for films like Hostel and The Tube, presents another work where claustrophobia, survival, and the sensation of impending doom are constant companions. Deep Dark, or Gueule Noire in its original French, which translates to Black Faces, offers one of the most distressing horror experiences in recent years due to its setting, where its dusty and labyrinthine environment creates persistent unease. Indeed, if you're someone who struggles with films that faithfully recreate intense feelings of oppression by taking place underground with limited oxygen, this could be an excruciating experience. We follow a group of coal miners in mid-20th century France, where after the arrival of an important professor who gathers a small number of workers, they plan to reach depths of more than 1,000 meters. Initially, no one knows why, but he's offering a substantial bonus for their dangerous work, a reward that seems worth the risk it might entail. After a couple of detonations following the professor's map, they reach a crack leading to a cave system beneath the mine that doesn't seem to belong there. Unknown language inscriptions cover the walls and pillars, corpses litter the ground, bloody texts warn of greater danger, and in one of the rooms, they find a kind of sarcophagus. This apparently houses something that an ancient civilization regarded as a powerful entity, a creature to serve and worship. Things go south when the situation becomes complicated. The hole they use to reach this place collapses, burying them without escape in the unknown passage, leaving them completely trapped with minimal visibility, uncertain of how to proceed or how vast this place might be, and in the presence of a tomb containing something terrifying. Opening it will be their worst mistake, but we'll discuss what emerges from inside a bit later when we enter the spoiler zone. Don't worry, I'll warn you. With a simple and straightforward plot, this French feature film knows its greatest strength lies in exploiting its potent atmosphere, and it does so expertly. Early on, we practically learn the map alongside the characters, making us feel like part of the protagonist team, so that later, when chaos erupts, we become as lost as they do. It's one of those direct survival films that we know won't surprise us too much at first glance, but it has the advantage of harboring an unconventional threat. Turi's direction is nervous and appropriately sober for the narrative, and the constant frenetic editing helps build tension when needed. All of this is supported by crucial visual elements and photography that the title already suggests: darkness. Beyond the flashlight beams, little can be seen in the corridors of this underground hell, and it's magnificent. There are sequences where it's impossible not to think how well this would have worked as found footage, though thankfully it isn't, because the film's greatest strength lies precisely in its choice of stylistic resources and framing capable of transforming a survival plot into a supernatural horror adventure. The cast is very competent with notable performances, including the surprising appearance of Diego Martin from Rec 3, or, as many will always remember him, the posh guy from Aquí no hay quien viva. True, the range of personalities is quite generic. The protagonist, the leader who feels responsible for his group, the greedy one, the good-natured one, the funny one, the tough guy. Still, they manage to be sufficiently identifiable and charismatic in their own way. I can criticize, at least personally, its lack of ambition in the final third, and a feeling that it could have been even more terrifying and tense than it turned out, though its gore moments, very gore, compensate for these negative points. I also think it takes quite a while to get going, though it does so to show and critique the difficult lives of thousands of miners throughout history who, under horrible conditions, were inevitably condemned to die. The Deep Dark is one of those movies that won't take us down particularly novel or original paths in horror cinema, but it knows how to tell its story in a refreshing way, contributing enough differential elements to stand out from the established norms. It's not the first to take place in a cave or mine, but it succeeds in fully immersing us thanks to its creature. Yes, The Deep Dark is a monster story, and not just any type of monster, revealing itself gradually, more and more, while we learn about its lore and what it really is as minutes pass. We're dealing with one of the most interesting beings I've encountered in recent times, not just for its design or form, but for everything behind it and what it truly turns out to be. While I won't reveal anything about the plot developments, it's time to discuss this being, this deity. We're entering spoiler territory where, if you want, you can learn about it. The Soul Devourer. The possibility that the sarcophagus contains treasures and riches leads two team members to decide to open it, and out comes the Mach Noro. It's a demigod buried due to its power and real objective, which is nothing less than to begin the apocalypse on Earth, and not in any ordinary way. As explained in the film, Mach Noro isn't the only monster with similar characteristics hidden throughout the planet. There are several, all connected to carry out the same mission: to awaken and resurrect what the film presents as the Ancient One, the true destroyer god, something even more powerful, the real omnipotent being, Lord of all, which, as we see in a nod and clear intention in the explanatory wall drawing, has an appearance very similar to Cthulhu. Yes, the mystery of the Deep Dark is pure Lovecraftian horror. An ancient civilization worshipped Mach Noro, a direct contact with the cosmic, who in turn might be a servant to an even more important entity. Additionally, in design, the antagonist strongly reminds me of that figure of Dagon that symbolized the connection with none other than another disturbing god from the American writer's mythology, Nyarlathotep. As we can see, there are many references to Lovecraft's fantastic literature and cosmic horror, something I didn't expect to find, and which has been a pleasant surprise. Though it must be said that the more we see of Mach Noro on screen, the less powerful it becomes, and the more illumination there is, the less impressive it appears. But still, it has its charm. The Deep Dark is a film capable of making any horror fan very happy. Whether you like more or less what revolves around its creature or its lore, the always immersive capacity to produce unease in small environments between darkness with lack of air, claustrophobic to the extreme, is fundamental here and part of its ability to frighten. There are many more things to discover about what happens, from its beginning to its end, for you to enjoy it completely. Although it's not currently available on any platform, it can be easily found in alternative sites, and since part of the production is related to Amazon, it will probably arrive on Prime Video in the near future. I hope you enjoy this movie as much as I did. Don't hesitate to share your opinions about this interesting horror film. If you enjoyed this analysis, feel free to share it with other genre enthusiasts.